Am I right, madam?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah. So it's a bit early for me to talk about entrepreneurship in civil engineering, but definitely it will help you focus and plan your studies more in depth actually. I am also an example like that. Right from childhood, I wanted to become a civil engineer, and so I use my memory completely for what is required for civil engineers perfectly. In fact, my memory is bad, very less, but I'll optimize for using it for what is required for my civil engineering knowledge. So that's how you should also plan. Whoever is interested in civil engineering and whoever is interested to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not by chance or by choice. It is a nature actually. So with this few words, I'll get into the topic. Probably this is the least number of slides with which I'm giving a lecture for 1 hour. That means each slide has got a lot of content which I'll be explaining. I wish you'll all be noting down what I'm saying. So you should have pen and paper with you, and you should note all the important points. And whatever doubts you get also, anytime during the talk also, you can stop me and ask me. That is always better, because by the time we reach the end, there will be too many points to ask. So it is always better we clear doubts as we move forward. Okay? Agreed? Anyone listening? Can any student say yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, good. No boys in the class. No boys in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So now this is the topic today. I'm going to share on entrepreneurship in civil engineering. So I'll give brief introduction to what is entrepreneurship and what is civil engineering. And then let us learn about what is construction industry and different avenues in construction industry, like consulting services, like what I'm doing. I'm a consulting engineer, contracting and developing the projects and information technology in civil engineering. So these are all the various avenues which I'll be exploring today. So if you have any doubt anytime, please don't hesitate to ask me, okay? So now the civil engineering. What civil engineering consists of? I hope you remember I took you class last year about the civil engineering profession. Any one of you remember? Hello? I want you to be actively participating. Then only I'm happy. Any one of you remember attending my class last year?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Hello?
Students,
Yes?
bit louder, no? Bit louder. Students.
Sir, remember.
Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. At least one, yeah, that's good. In fact, you should learn to be participating actively in any of the classes, particularly online. If it is live, if I'm attending, if I'm addressing you, I'll know your reactions. Now I'm doing blindfold, so your audio reaction is very important. Yes or no. Please, I don't mind you unmute if there are no disturbances. Only when there is any disturbance from the sides, you mute it, okay? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now civil engineering consists of this vocabulary, all you should remember. Infrastructure. What is infrastructure? And buildings. Infrastructure is for a people to live. What is the infrastructure required? Basically, you need a fresh air, you need water, drinking water, utility water, and processed water, and drainage for flooding. Like now you are seeing rains everywhere, and if the water doesn't flow off, then your area will be flooded, is it not? So storm water and then wastewater, sewage, and then you need roads to move from place to place. Now today, what is the most important infrastructure? Communication, data, internet, and servers. And then you need the hospitals, very important. A hospital also comes under infrastructure, okay? And buildings, for all this, we build the buildings as civil engineers. You know, the buildings are though the contribution of buildings in terms of value and cost is very less, but everybody sees buildings, is it not? If you do the roads of thousands of kilometers, it's not visible. People take it for granted. Road as a normal thing. They don't think that there is a lot of engineering involved in the roads and highways, even railways. You know, you travel by train, and railways is the toughest engineering actually, because the accuracy of the alignment of the rails is very important. And next, when we talk about these roads and the railways, you need bridges for crossing the rivers, for crossing the valleys, and even now for crossing the cities, elevated expressways. Ports, what are the ports? Like sea coast. India has got a huge sea coast, you know. In all east and west and south, you have the sea coast, and north, you have the Himalayas for our country. So the ports are required to connect with the exports and imports of the raw material or finished goods. And the next is the airports now. So we deal with airports as civil engineers, we deal with ports, we deal with railway stations. And now latest thing happening is DFCC. That means dedicated freight corridor. You need the goods trains to transport mass bulk of materials. And then now next thing is bullet train. You know, yesterday, are you reading newspaper? Any one of you every day? Anyone reading newspaper? I always ask this question. Can someone respond yes or no?
No, sir.
You should read newspaper, one Telugu or local daily and one English. Because, you know, yesterday it came in newspaper, Hyderabad and Mumbai are going to be connected by bullet train. If you read newspaper, you'll be knowing this kind of news. Anyone knows about this? Okay, leave the newspaper, but does anyone know that they are going to come up with bullet train between Hyderabad and Mumbai?
Yes, sir. They're gonna connect all the metro cities.
All metro cities?
I mean, in India, there are about 5 metro cities, like
You said,
Kolkata, Mumbai.
have you read somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Where?
I mean, in the news itself.
News itself, okay.
Yes, sir.
I yesterday read only about Hyderabad, Mumbai. And Mumbai, Ahmedabad is already there, you all know. It was announced with big fanfare and all, and work is going on between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Next is the metro. We all know about metro. Metro is train is the urban transport system, you know, and that is happening in almost 22, 23 cities across our country, you know, Cochin, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, already metro cities like Calcutta, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, all have metro. What is MMTS? Multi-modal transport system. Hyderabad has got MMTS, is it not? That means if you buy one ticket, you should be able to travel through metro and MMTS and then bus also. Next is the environment. What is environment like? Air, water, solid waste, soil, all these things we have to maintain in their original status. And biodiversity. You know, Hyderabad has got biodiversity park. Where is that biodiversity park? Can anybody tell me? Biodiversity park. If you are not responding fast, I have to doubt whether you are listening or not. Huh? Hello?
Sir, Gachibowli, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
Manasa Reddy, sir.
Manasa Reddy. Good. You have to be active. Please follow with me, okay? I expect at least 10-15 people telling me answer. Then I'm sure that yes, everybody is listening to me. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time, you know. I want to utilize my time. Okay. Then hydrology. What is hydrology? That is about flood. Water. You know, Hyderabad has got how many lakes? Can anybody tell me? There are 2,000 lakes notified in Hyderabad, small to big. And most popular lakes are Hussain Sagar, Usman Sagar, and Himayat Sagar. You know, these are the big lakes. And then we have Mir Alam tank and all that. And next, space technology. You know, we engineers work for space also because structural design, space structural design is a specialization by itself. Next is the communication. We engineers design infrastructure for communication like towers, buildings and all. Mining is, you know, mineral ore mining, coal mining, all the mining is also we involve in planning the mining, open cast mining and closed cast mining and all that. Hydel power, that means hydroelectric power. Water resources, we involve in water resource management, you know. That means if you know about Mission Bhagiratha and you know about Kaleswaram project, all these come under water resource management. River Krishna, Godavari, Manjira, Musi River and all, we civil engineers do the water resources management. That means collection of natural water from the rain and then storing and then distribution for various purposes like irrigation and what you call industries and all that. So now we should know about all these things. And when we think of entrepreneurship, what is the difference it makes to a person as an entrepreneur? I classify the entire human beings, entire living persons on the earth as two categories. The category, one category is employees, other category is employers. So you have to decide whether you are an employee by nature or employer by nature. How many of you here feel that they are made for good employees? Can anybody tell me? Is there any poll in this, madam?
No poll options are available.
Oh, in fact, it's good if we have a poll. This kind of question, it's very important. Can I see the people here on the screen?
You can see the attendees, sir.
Huh?
You can see,
Attendees.
yeah, attendees. There are all 46 students are there. You can see
Okay.
there.
So can you answer in the chat box or the audio? That,
So they can answer on chat box. They can give the
yeah.
response.
Can you give the response in the chat box, please? Where is my? Oh, okay. Okay. Can you type in the chat box what you feel? You are a employee or employer? Employer means entrepreneur who employs people. like I'm an employer. I have 150 engineers working with me. I give employment to 150 people. So I will explain about my experience once I see what you write here. Is there a chart box here? Chart box. Where is the chart box, madam?
It's, so once you can see on the top, I guess, sir.
On?
On the top of your screen, if it's possible, once
Yeah, I am seeing the screen.
there will be a chat box
Oh,
symbol.
more actions. More actions. Device settings. No.
Raise your hand, and along with that, you can see a chat box symbol.
That's not coming here. That means I'm not authorized. Huh?
No, nothing like that, sir. Everyone can view and everyone can type also in the chat box.
I'm not getting.
So there are many students that are responding as they want to be an employer.
Oh, good. How many people want employer? Can anyone come on audio and video? I can interact with you. It will help others, my interaction.
There are almost 7 people those who want to be an employers.
Yeah, any one of you, can you come on to interact with me, audio and video? Can you name one, madam?
One, yes, sir.
And do they have permission to put on video?
Yes, sir. They can on their video and audio both.
One person I want to discuss. That will help people.
So can Josna respond? Josna, Dev, Mahinder, Sankat Kumar, Avin, Soumya, these people all want to be an employer.
That's good. One of you please switch on your video and audio. I want to discuss with you, counsel, so that it will help other friends.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name?
I am Abhishek, sir.
Abhishek. So very good.
Yes,
so you
sir.
want to be an employer or employee?
Employer, sir.
So what is the reason?
Reason, there is no strong reason, sir, but I have a lot of role models, sir, like Jack Ma
Oh,
and Mark Zuckerberg.
okay.
I always wanted to be like that. That's
So do you feel any problem in the society or in our country that you think you should solve strongly?
yes, sir. There are many problems. It might be in civil engineering itself. We have many problems, sir, like
Yeah.
infrastructure problem,
Yeah,
transportation problem.
yeah,
Like we are not meeting the population demands. Like,
yeah. So how do you want to solve this problem?
like bringing up more projects. Like for example, in America, Elon Musk has introduced Hyperloop system, sir. Like
Yeah.
it has to come to India, sir, as soon as possible. Like
Okay.
so, those projects have to come to places where population is actually more. In yeah, so we need more than what they need. Sir.
Oh, yeah. So that's good. You have to, you keep it up, Abhishek, and try to work on it to achieve that. So today's our objective is exactly this only. So we'll move on now with our talk. Is it coming now? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Oh.
But we can't see the change of your slides, sir. It is this.
Now it. Yeah. Now.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So once you decide, I'll explain now what is the difference between employee and employer. I have passed through this experience, I finished my engineering. I got a job in Tata Consulting Engineers. It was a dream till I was selected for the job. But once I'm selected, I thought there is something wrong with this company, why they have chosen me. And then I went and interviewed the people working in that company. Then I realized that that's not the company I want to work with. Then I joined a small company for a lesser salary, for less security actually. So I was working, I thought this is my company. I'll work for this company. And then I was doing good work. After 1.5 years, I went and asked my boss, will you give me share in your company? Because I'm doing everything. I've made you jobless in this company. He laughed at me and he thought that I'm not going to stay in that company. He somehow talked about trust and all that. Then afternoon, he talked to me about trust, honesty and all these things. Then evening, I went and told my boss, I'm leaving the job. I left the job. Then I came to Hyderabad. This was in Chennai. Then I came to Hyderabad. I had some company offer for me. So I went and told them I'll join. I joined that company. This is my third job in life. And I was working well. At one point of time, I thought I will take this company up. So I had my own ideas for running the company, but I always used to fight with my boss again about how to run the company. Then one day I went and told my boss, no, I'm not able to work with you. I'm resigning your job. Then I thought, enough, mathematical induction, 1, 2, 3. Third job, I thought I'm not fit to be an employee because I'm always fighting with my boss about how to run the company. Then I resigned and started my company. That is what I am today, 26 years old company where I employ 150 engineers. At one point of time, I reached a peak of 450 employees in my company. So I always tell people, don't choose to be entrepreneur. You will become an entrepreneur if you are made for it naturally. So don't aim to be an entrepreneur, please. You should not forcibly become an entrepreneur. Same job also, employee also, don't force yourself to be an employee. There are good employees on the society who will succeed as employee. Don't think that only as an entrepreneur you can make money. We are seeing Sundar Pichai. We are seeing Nadella, Satya Nadella. We are seeing so many people who are successful as employees and they have reached the pinnacle of their Sundar Pichai's earning is 700 crores per annum. And I'm sure 95% of entrepreneurs in India won't make that kind of money. So you can make money. Making is not the criteria to decide about whether you want to be an employee or employer. It is your urge to solve the problem. That's what is today's topic actually. Then investment. Do you require investment to become an entrepreneur? You need intellect. You need time. Then you need funding. You need not invest money. But you have to invest your time and knowledge and intellect. And you should have that urge to solve the problem. Then you are an employer. Then you are an entrepreneur. And idea, you must have an idea. You must be innovative. You must be interested in researching to find the solution for the problem, or at least you should know who can solve the problem so that you will solve the problem and develop the solution. This is the entrepreneurship, not only in civil engineering, in any field. These are the common things. That's why I have given introduction to this entrepreneurship and civil engineering. What are all the areas that you can work on in civil engineering, and how, if you want to be an entrepreneur, what is the differentiator? So these are very important things you should remember. So it's a surprising fact. There are 582 million entrepreneurs in the world. That means 1 in every 14. If you have 14 people, 1 person is an entrepreneur. Very surprising, is it not? And the activity of setting up a business or businesses taking on financial risks is entrepreneurship. There are different definitions, I am telling. The process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which is often initially a small business, we heard about how Google started, how Facebook started, and how Infosys started in a garage of the house, small place, small business, they think, but their idea is so big that it reaches out to the entire world. Capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with any of its risks is entrepreneurship. Actually, you should have that capacity to take that risk and develop, organize, and manage business venture. Next is the ability and readiness to develop, organize, and run a business enterprise along with any of its uncertainties. There will be so many uncertainties when we plunge into business, you know. I learned over a period of time hard way about all, even your personality will be tested when you are an entrepreneur. I'll give you a small reason. I used to think why I should pay anybody money. I am giving them knowledge, I am giving them, so why should I pay salary? So I had to learn to pay salary. I had to learn to allow my employees take holiday and weekend. I had to learn to appreciate, even if they work for lesser time, but if they deliver value to the company, I had to learn so many things. Personality, I tell you, that is the biggest incentive we get as entrepreneur. When we run a company, we are exposed to various types of client, we are exposed to various types of employees, we are exposed to various types of vendors, and your personality is tested every time, every minute. So entrepreneurship is a very exciting career actually, but at the same time, there is no reward without risk. There is no happiness without suffering. So please let us think these are actually required, and suffering, failure, and hard work are required in anything, whether you are an employee or entrepreneur. Both the cases you need to have this, and entrepreneurship is an important driver of economic growth and innovation. You know, that's very important. Many people to have ideas, because let's not think that it is only the government to solve our problems. People can solve their problems actually. We need a lot of people who can solve the problems. This is the thing I'm going to explain today. The process of discovering new ways of combining resources. This is another way of looking at it. There are resources, people, machines, internet, knowledge, all the resources are available. And it's a new way of combining these resources. And when the market value generated by this new combination of resources is greater than the market value, these resources can generate elsewhere, individually or in some other combination. That means you are innovative in combining the resources. Like it happened for Infosys the same way. 7 people joined together. They are working in different companies. They have resigned or they were laid off, and they had an idea how to run the company. And today Infosys stands in the corporate governance. Tata company stands in the corporate governance. So it is about transforming the world by solving big problems, like bringing about social change or creating an innovative product that challenges the status quo of how we live our lives on a daily basis. Live our lives on a daily basis. So you imagine life without mobile phone, life without computer, life without 5G or 4G technology, life without internet, life without Google, life without mail, life without all these technologies, laptop or tab, all this, or smartphone. Can we imagine? We lived 30 years back, we lived without all these things, but there was a life. But all these gadgets, all these technologies have brought in a big social change. But the innovator or the entrepreneurs who have done this probably did not think of this social change. They only thought about their urge to create this technology, to create these platforms, to as a that will be burning desire. You know, I want to do this. So entrepreneurship is what people do to take their career and dreams into their hands and lead it in the direction they want. So this is about entrepreneurship. We don't follow somebody. We will dictate our career. We will make our dreams real. And we work and we lead to make it happen. That is an entrepreneur. So what entrepreneurship needs is a strong conviction. I want to do this. I want to achieve it. And for that, you need knowledge. You need to have quest, and you need to be dedicated, have dedication and passion to see that. And for all this, you have to do hard work. You have to sacrifice a lot of things, maybe family life, maybe relations, maybe friends, and maybe material happiness, like a nice house, nice, all that you have to sacrifice to until you achieve. Once you achieve, there is no limit for your material benefits. But you should not do this for the sake of material benefits. You should do it for the sake of implementing your knowledge and ideas and innovation to make it happen. And for all this, you must have ability and strength, and you must have the innovative thinking. So these are all the things that are needed for entrepreneurship. So what entrepreneurs say, actually. Artemis Nicoll, founder of Nicoll shares, many are excited to become an entrepreneur, but get discouraged when reality hits. You know, entrepreneurship is not a bed of roses. You have to have ability to withstand so many hardships, actually, so many insults. We have seen our researchers world time, Galileo and all, everybody has come through the tough times, actually. Entrepreneurship means staying committed to your goals, beyond your feelings of excitement, and stay the course and keep your why in mind. Why not I can solve? Why this is happening? Why? What is the way to solve this? These are all the things. Next, founder and CEO, Neuroflow, Christopher Molaro says, entrepreneurship means being the one that is willing to take a leap, work hard through to sacrifice everything else around you, all in the name of solving problems because no one else is capable or possesses the desire that I have. So this is the important thing. You must feel strongly that I only can solve it. I will solve it. Then you will be able to get the ideas to solve it. You know, human brain is so powerful. The best of the human brains utilize only 38% of their capacity. So we must increase that utilization of our brain, whether it is memory, whether it is logic, whether it is rational, or whether it is learning. All this we have to utilize to achieve the solution to the problem that we have in our mind, that we have identified in the society or in our field of engineering, whether it is civil engineering, water, drinking water. Let us take Nalgonda fluorosis problem for the people. Can't we solve this? So the solving the problem should be our aim, not earning money or becoming MD or making big net worth. That is only result that happens. We should have the urge to solve. We should have willingness to work hard. So that is the thing. Next, Jolil Tamana, Director of Marketing, he shares that entrepreneurs make their way down a never-ending list of problems with the grit, passion, and energy. While intense, being an entrepreneur means you get to live life learning an incredible amount of maximize your impact on the world. That is the urge, actually. I want to maximize. Google founder said once, Larry Page, because you have to tackle the hardest problem. Never think of coming out with the excellent solution. That is not useful for anyone, okay? But aim for a reasonable solution that reaches to the maximum percentage of people in the world. That's what Google is doing now. Your maps is not the perfect, is it not? Google Maps. But still, there is no person nowadays who is not having Google Maps on his phone, smartphone, because it is reasonably aiding you, helping you reach your destination from your starting point. So this is the maximize your impact on the world. That's what is very important. Nicole Faith, founder of 10 Carat Creations, breaks it down. Being an entrepreneur means having a plan and vision, but still succeeding or trying to succeed when the plan falls apart and you are left with only your vision. It also means knowing when to give up. So especially if your idea is not working due to forces outside of yourself, because your idea is not the only thing that is reason for success or failure. It is also surrounding you. You should be aware of what is happening around in the world and how your idea can break that and be useful for the people. So this is very important. So we should know that when our plans don't work, when to give up also. So this is also very important being an entrepreneur. Otherwise, the whole life will be sacrificing and not achieving anything. That's also not correct. So we should modify our plans. We should quickly change into newer areas, newer domains, because we have seen how fast the world is changing now in the last 30 years. So many companies have gone away because of the technology disruption. It is called technology disrupting the world, actually, disrupting people, disrupting corporates. Actually, we have seen film companies going away, Sony music company going away, and if they don't diversify, we should be able to visualize future, and in that future visualize a solution that we can offer. Okay. This requires instinct and confidence to act upon it. Some call it luck, but it's not. It's having the courage to trust your gut. This is the most important thing. And the entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. Peter Drucker. From my very first day as an entrepreneur, I have felt the only mission worth pursuing in business is to make people's lives better. That's it. Just be committed to that. I want to make people's lives better, like what Abhishek said today. So we have to have that urge. We have to have that conviction. This is what Richard Branson said. And a person who sees a problem is a human being. A person who finds a solution is a visionary. And the person who goes out and does something about it is an entrepreneur. This is Naveen Jain. So these are all some of the sayings by entrepreneurs when they're asked what they feel about entrepreneurship. This is very important. So now let us think of best enterprises and analyze why they are the best. Tata, J.R.D. Tata, more than 100 years conglomerate. And now we see how Tata has grown into so many sectors as an enterprise. This is an enterprise. They have gone beyond the entrepreneurship. They have created the enterprises. Next is Reliance. We have seen Dhirubhai Ambani. Maybe many of you would not have seen him live, but Reliance is a company which has come out of the vision and urge of Dhirubhai Ambani, who was just a retailer in cloth business. Now we are seeing how Reliance is changing the lives. Reliance Jio, Reliance Petrochemicals, Reliance, they have kept on going on forward integration. And then DLF, real estate. KP Singh is the one who had the dream of making cities. If you heard of Gurgaon, Gurgaon is a city developed by DLF. And even the metro in Gurgaon is developed by DLF now. So they have real estate has grown to that level. Even the urban transport is done under PPP mode by DLF to make the city better livable. Next is the L&T ECC we are seeing, which is employing directly or indirectly more than 3 lakh people. L&T Group, and ECC is a construction company, so it's the biggest conglomerate in our company in our country. And Henning Larsen and Soren Tobro, how they are Danish people. They have come to India as refugees. They have come to India as refugees, and they started doing business, connecting with their Danish people, doing some trade and business in India, and slowly started this. Now you see that as company, as an enterprise, I am saying. Now, most of the governments, if there is the biggest project, they call L&T and give the job to them. Next is the consulting firm, M.N. Dastur and Company. Dr. Minu Nariman Dastur is the promoter of this consultancy. And they have, it is more than 67 years old, 65 years old company. If you think of any steel project in our country, iron ore, sponge iron plant and all, it is M.N. Dastur who are the consultant. So they proudly say that M.N. Dastur makes difference to the economy of our country, because steel is very important for economy of the country. And now we are seeing OR rooms, technology based. Ritesh Agrawal, he has just converted one room as a livable room and with a breakfast, and he brought down the cost of living in travel to as low as hundreds of rupees, 500,000 rupees, which otherwise would have been very high. But still he has created a brand. Voyo is a brand internationally known now. And very fast, he has grown this company within 6 years to this level. And he's almost like $1 billion to $2 billion net worth now. So a graduate, engineering graduate. Next in Hyderabad, we have seen Dr. Reddy Labs. Today we are seeing how important it is about pharma and developing this vaccine for pandemic today. And Dr. Reddy's had a vision, and in 35 years, they have grown to be very big with so many patents. And in pharma, that is the company out of Hyderabad, grown in Hyderabad, born in Hyderabad and grown in Hyderabad. So next is the HDFC. Hasmukh Parekh, just 26 years old, banking and financial sector. It is started with the objective of housing finance. Those days, it was very difficult to get a housing finance. Once it is the effect of privatization, and we see how strong HDFC is in SOPs and providing employment or providing finance to the even entrepreneurs. And next is the Ola Cabs. We are seeing Bhavish Agarwal, who is the founder, and it is growing as a competition to Uber, and it is out of India. And Infosys, the service provider company, N.R. Narayan Murthy. So these are all the inspiration which we have to take, and let's not imitate, but let us emulate their qualities to be the best entrepreneurs and create best enterprises. And best in the world, we all know Apple, Steve Jobs, Microsoft, Bill Gates, and Google, Larry Page, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Alibaba, Jack Ma, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and SpaceX, Elon Musk, and Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. These are all the top 10 of the billionaires in the world. And they just had the idea to solve the problems of the people. And they have emerged as the leaders. And now Facebook buys a share in Reliance, and Google buys a share in other Tata Group, you know. So these are all the things you have to think of solution, and results are very automatic actually. If your idea is good, if you can solve the problem, and let's not aim to be billionaire, let us aim to solve the problem. So that is the thing. Now coming to construction industry in India, so population growth and urbanization, and there is a need for urban infrastructure. And GDP, our gross domestic product in our country, 20% goes into construction, you know, and the poor quality of construction. This already Abhishek has said, it needs committed entrepreneurs with passion. I always say that every engineer should become a contractor, developer, or consultant and solve these problems. Materials procurement, materials production, steel, cement, and material sales, material distribution, mechanization of using, that means machines required for construction because of the skill shortage, automation and virtualization. Now we are seeing building information modeling and all that is required for automation. So pre-engineering, off-the-shelf, ready-to-use 3D printing, modularization of construction, precast construction, pre-engineered steel building, and 3D printed products, all the smart cities, internet, time saving, quality assurance, and buildability. These are all the areas that have possibility for entrepreneurship in construction industry. So civil engineering consultancy services, they are required in investigation, survey, soil, EIA, environment impact assessment, water quality, and traffic logistics mechanization. And yesterday I happened to meet somebody who is a BCom graduate, but he is working on all these investigation aspects and environment impact assessment. Whereas ideally it should be an engineer, because there are no engineers matching his urge. He is leading. And engineering, civil, structural, planning, construction, and contracting is engineering, and we can work in these areas. There is huge scope actually. There are a lot of masons doing this, so we should replace the masons with engineers. And project management, construction management is another consulting service that is, and next is the quality control, testing, quality audit, certification, and green rating. These are areas of consulting again. And next area of consulting is repair, rehabilitation, retrofitting, valuation of assets. And next most fast emerging is facility management, building maintenance, energy audits, and automation of the building services. So these are all the possibilities of consultancy services in civil engineering. Please make note. Is anyone having any question at this stage? Otherwise, I'll be running like this. Anyone? Any question? Or do you think you are following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. I hope it's useful for you to plan your career, to study well as you move forward. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So next is the contracting. In contracting means what? Doing the construction as a service. Take a contract from the developer or implementing agency and you employ the engineers and then do the construction, whether it is excavation, filling, pouring concrete, doing the brickwork, flooring, doing the flooring, finishes, interior, and external services. So infrastructure, roads, water supply, huge scope is there. Lakhs of crores is being spent by government on this infrastructure. Urban, rural, scattered, remote areas, and mass works. Mass works are like dams, like we are seeing. You know, the government of Telangana has spent 1 lakh crores on Kaleshwaram project alone in a span of 3 years. And equipment, heavy engineering, heavy mining equipment. Also, you can use this equipment as contractors. Different types of contracts are rate contracts, EPC contracts, design build contract, cost plus model contract, and BOT, build, operate, toll, BOT, that is BOOT, that is build, own, operate, and transfer, and then BOLT, build, operate, lease, and transfer, and then PPP mode, public-private partnership. So these are all the different types of contracts you can handle. You can specialize in one of that. And FIDIC, FIDIC is a document which helps in understanding these contracts, actually, international document. And customized turnkey contracts, houses, large corporates, you can start as a constructing houses, actually, because if you can construct a house properly, then you are a successful contractor. And material production, transport, equipment, specialized material handling, and niche areas, patented technologies, contracting also is one of the areas of contracting. So this is some of the projects I have as a consultant implemented, constructing 4,000 houses in 12 months, in 11 floors, with the 3 technologies, precast, conventional, and Maiva. All 3 are there in these blocks you are seeing. So this is an idea and commitment to deliver a project in the time given at the low cost, you know. So next is the developers, real estate, buy and sell plots, gated communities, commercial spaces, office spaces, hospitality, that means hotels, entertainment. You see this Jal Vihar, Ocean Park, I have involved in those projects, Laser Gallery, NTR Garden, and all these Film City, all these are the entertainment projects, Snow World also. And heritage, tourism, logistic parks can also be developed as a developer. Educational institutions, hostels, that is co-living spaces. And this is a new product in real estate, co-living, co-working spaces. And then industrial parks, economic cities, SEZ, special economic zones. You know Sri City, any of you know about what is Sri City? And Pharma City in Vizag, Sri City in Nellore, and Hyderabad also we have a pharma cluster. All this, they are real estate projects. and you have the huge warehouses and logistic parks. IT parks, we see high-tech city is the biggest real estate development that happened, and now we are seeing how fast it is growing. And eco resorts, transit hubs, convention centers. These are all the development projects possible as engineers. So you can see the scope in this also. If you like this asset management, asset building, you are an entrepreneur in real estate. So this is an idea for me. I have been talking about this in the last 2 years, that why not you buy house on Amazon? Do you like it? Anyone likes this idea? That means you buy a house using your credit card. Next day they will bring and put it in your land, house like this. In 2 days your house is ready. Why not? Faster than buying grocery from stores. So why not house available on Amazon? I'm working on it seriously as a consultant to make this idea happen. So house should be made off the site, transported and erected. I didn't get any response from any one of you on this. Amazon. Not able to connect the idea. So this is the house manufacturing, which I'm doing real project now, making a house in a factory. And next is the civil engineering IT. So you can develop the software. This also I have done actually. I developed software products for civil engineering. IT enabled services like GIS, advanced mapping and facility management, which are required for smart city projects, computer-aided design, computer-aided engineering, computer-aided manufacturing, BPO, building business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, e-commerce, and ERP, enterprise resource planning, building information modeling, augmented reality, virtual reality, and vendor management, building services, smart cities, and handling big data. So these are all the IT in civil engineering. Next, the future of construction is 3D printing, sustainable construction, augmented reality, nanotechnology, and waste management, construction and demolition waste recycling, data analytics, and GIS. These are all the areas for future of construction. So now I'll just show you a small video. You have time, madam?
Yes, sir, we have.
Okay, I'll run. You're able to hear the audio?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, it is not audible now, sir.
Not audible, huh?
No. Sir.
But to be fair, to some options we have to change. Now I'll share it again. Stop share in 1 minute. Stop sharing. Okay, I'll share now directly, and is it coming now, madam? Audio?
No, sir.
Can you hear?
No, sir.
You're not able to hear?
No, sir. We are not able to hear.
Anyway, you can read text. Anyway, I will try to share it, that video link to you, madam. You can share it to the students.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So next is material planning and procurement like this, aggregate, cement, paints, and ready-made products like Hume pipes, concrete, ready-mix concrete, and the pipes and bricks, wood, steel. Like this, any products you can work on procurement and material planning. This is also biggest opportunity for you. And some entrepreneurs from Hyderabad, let us look at civil engineers who have transformed our city, or engineer Ayodhya Ram Reddy Ramki Group, if you know, and Shekhar Reddy, who is heading CSR Estate, and K. Ravindra Reddy Janapriya, 1 lakh rupees house he has sold some 30 years back. And Yoganand of Manjira Group, Sriniraju of iLabs and Sri City now, and JV Reddy engineer. They're all engineers who have started careers with this. So 30, 40 years back itself, we had the entrepreneurs who have seen this opportunity in civil engineering, and why not you with the technology and future? And 3 of the ministers of our Telangana state are civil engineers, like Prashant Reddy, Gangul Kamalakarji, and Harish Rao. So these are all 3 engineers, civil engineers who are ministers. They also are entrepreneurs in civil engineering. RV Associates, a consulting firm from Hyderabad, biggest consulting firm in infrastructure. Nagarjuna is a startup in Hyderabad. And CADSys India, doing exports from Hyderabad, is also a startup. And my own company, Satyavani Projects and Consultant. And KDM is a testing and quality assurance company. And Saket Engineers, Saket Pranam, Active Retirement Homes and all, he's also civil engineer, T. Radhakrishnan. These are some examples which I'm quoting because there are so many people in Hyderabad itself, hundreds. There are 1,000 consultants in Hyderabad who are living on their own without working as an employee. So everyone can plan their career as an entrepreneur. So I'm working as a consultant and we work for so many clients like SMAC, Siemens, and 2 Degrees, New Zealand, SAP Labs in Canada, Trilon, Schneider Electric, Dell, Ericsson, and these are all our clients. And Tata Group, we did so many projects. Tech Mahindra is our client. So I have built this portfolio like even public sector undertakings like BHEL, groups like GVK, GMR, and the state governments of Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and central government defense projects, MES, BDL, all this we do. And the satisfaction I derive and knowledge I gain by working for so many clients is so great. So being an entrepreneur, this is the incentive. You become a more complete person as an engineer, So that is the advantage. Now, I want you to ask any questions. If you have time. Madam, do you have time?
Sir, they have a session at 3:20 again, sir.
Okay.
And, if they want to ask, they can ask within 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I'll be happy to take questions because this topic is like, I must see whether students have understood what I taught or whether they are gained something out of it. Anyone? Abhishek? Manasa Reddy? You should learn to speak if at all you are hearing, if at all you are attending. Yeah. Any
No
questions?
doubt, sir.
Pardon?
No doubt, sir. That's it. Clear.
Yeah. What's your name? Abhishek. Oh, yeah. That's no doubts. All understood. Good. I'm happy you all understood what I talked, and I wish some of you will take cue from today's class and become real entrepreneurs. Okay? And of course, we keep meeting anytime you have questions regarding this entrepreneurship and becoming an entrepreneur, or check your ideas. you are welcome to discuss with me. I even support the startups. We have a trust called Smart Infresh, through which I promote startups by a scheme called incubation. InCube is a scheme. That's what the video I made, and you're all welcome to discuss with me anytime. Okay, have a good day, have a safe time ahead, and all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.